Hello and welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. As we take a look at this article today, colleges are requiring SAT and ACT scores again. We have a full list for you for 2027. Before we dive in, if you want to dive deeper, of course, I don't think we're going to go through the whole list of schools on this podcast. That would be crazy to do in audio form. So you can see everything you need to know about this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. You can also ask questions and all the things on social media. Just like and follow and click around. I don't know, just whatever you guys do. Search for the words The College Investor and you'll find us. All right, let's dive in here. So the test optional era in college admissions is rapidly drawing to a close. It was good while it lasted. What began as kind of an emergency response to COVID, it's turned into one of the most significant policy reversals in recent higher education history. I actually forgot all about it because that was always a thing. Like from forever ago until just recently that you just got to take an SAT or an ACT. I don't know, anyway. So from the Ivy League to SEC flagships, schools are bringing back the SAT and ACT requirements, and some are now accepting the Classic Learning Test, the CLT, as well, which is good for people if you're like me and you choose to homeschool your kids. Now, according to Brian Eufinger, co-founder of Edison Prep, even at schools that remain test optional, scores are often still required to compete for top-tier merit scholarships. End quote. For the high school class of 2027, which will begin submitting applications this fall, by the way, standardized testing is once again a central part of the college admissions equation. The Ivy League leads the reversal. Surprise! The dominoes began falling in early 2024 when Dartmouth announced it would reinstate its SAT, ACT requirement after an internal faculty study found that test scores remain the strongest predictor of academic success. We're talking Harvard, Yale, Brown, Cornell, Caltech, Stanford. They all followed suit within months. Princeton was among the last elite holdouts, but in October 2025, they also announced test scores would be required for the 27-28 admissions cycle. Every Ivy League school, except Columbia, now mandates, or at least strongly recommends, standardized testing. The shift has been driven largely by data as well. Schools that went test optional found the absence of scores made it harder to identify talented students, and this has real-world implications for colleges and their budgets. If students drop out, it's harder to fill transfer students than freshmen. Without a standardized benchmark, admissions offices leaned more heavily on grades and extracurriculars, metrics that can be skewed due to grade inflation or could favor wealthier applicants with polished resumes. SEC and Southern flagship schools do follow here. The trend is not limited to private elites either. Some of the largest public schools are now reinstating this requirement. LSU announced they're going to once again require ACT, SAT scores. Auburn is phasing out its optional policy entirely. So for fall 27, all applicants will be required to submit those testing scores, regardless of their GPA. Alabama updated its admissions process too, starting with the 27 entering class. Students with a cumulative GPA below 3.0 will be required to submit a standardized test score. These announcements follow earlier moves by the entire Florida and Georgia public university systems, which had already reinstated their requirements. The University of Florida now requires SAT, ACT, or CLT scores for all applicants, and the University of Texas brought back its requirement in 2024, by the way. Long time ago. More schools accept the CLT exam, too, and this is a huge thing, is the growing acceptance of the Classic Learning Test, a newer standardized exam. Besides the name, Classic, it's actually new, that has gained a lot of traction. Roughly 325 colleges and universities now accept the CLT. In February 2026, the University of North Carolina system approved the CLT as an acceptable alternative to the SAT, ACT for fall of 27 admissions across all UNC campuses. The U.S. service academies are also accepting CLT scores for the 27 cycle. Florida public schools already accept the CLT for admissions and state scholarship eligibility. Colleges requiring or preferring test scores. It is a laundry list of schools that have reinstated SAT or ACT testing requirements, or at least they now strongly prefer them. You can see an alphabetical list all laid out for you inside this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. But here's what this means for students and families. The return of testing requirements has immediate implications. According to Ufinger, quote, many colleges are belatedly announcing whether they will return to mandatory testing. Not all schools have been finalized or have even finalized testing policies for the class of 27. These timelines are simply just too late to be fair, end quote. So families with students in the class of 27 and beyond should at least take practice SAT, ACT tests to see where their students are landing, since even if part of their list may be test optional for admissions, solid scores here can secure 5 and 6 figures of additional merit aid. Did you hear the 6-figure number? Even at test optional schools. High school juniors in the class of 27 who have not yet taken ACT, SAT, or CLT should plan to do so before fall 2026 application deadlines. For families weighing test prep costs, free resources are actually widely available too. The College Board offers free SAT prep through Khan Academy, and the CLT provides free practice tests on its website as well. However, if you're wanting to apply to a competitive college prepping for these exams, you just got to start now. Families should not wait for the colleges to make up their minds when it comes to something like test prep that takes time. Do it now so you're prepared for later. And that is our show for today. If you want to find out more about the tests, maybe if you've never heard of the CLT, take a look at that. We got resources and links and everything you need to know at thecollegeinvestor.com. Also type in The College Investor on socials, and we're there too. We'd love to help you along wherever you are in your money journey. All right, we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks so much for stopping by today.